Yeah, so both the courses actually very big, coding theory itself as well as this cryptography. They are even not suitable for one semester course, but now both the courses are combined as one course. So basically, they want to introduce you to this coding theory and cryptography, and it is comes under part of applied algebra. So algebra techniques very frequently used here. Of course, some will also use probability. So there is a probability coding theory also there, and probability even used in cryptography also. Many other areas also used, but basically we mostly confine to algebra techniques. Okay, so first I'll introduce coding theory. So before going to start, I want to say you that so this is the book I am following most of the times, but I'll follow other books also. But this one book is sufficient, but it is not listed in your references. Coding Theory, first course by Ling and Zing. Full name is San Ling, and yeah. So, so this is the book I am following. It is like very light, elementary book actually. Right. Somehow I'm facing problem in. Yeah. Okay. Now fine. So actually, this coding theory started because of the one paper published by Shannon. Okay, around 1948. Before him, actually, there is another person called Hamming. Hamming and Shannon both work in Bell Laboratories, right? So actually, first Hamming gave some code, but at the same time, around that period, Shannon also wrote one paper. Okay, so this paper actually led to many areas. Actually, not only this coding theory, information theory, communication theory. So this one paper has impact of many directions. Okay, it has a very good capacity. So what he told is that given any noisy communication channel, there is a number called the capacity of the channel such that reliable communication can be achieved at any rate below the channel capacity. I explain you those things later. If proper encoding and decoding techniques are used. So if you able it is if you have encoding decoding techniques proper encoding decoding techniques, it is possible to achieve very good communication. This marked birth of coding theory, a field of study concerned with transmission of data across the noisy channels and the recovery of corrupted messages. I'll tell you both of them now. Okay. So in the last 70 years, coding theory has been very phenomenal growth. It found widespread applications in many areas, ranging from communication systems, compact disk players, storage technology, and many. Okay, so many areas. So I will introduce them slowly one after the another. But here there is a um, error correcting codes, little bit of history displayed in one picture. Okay, this I taken from one video, YouTube video. So 3 blue, 1 brown. That channel. From the channel, I took this. In the video in between, I clicked this. Okay, right. So the importance of algebra, combinatorics, and geometry in coding theory is commonly acknowledged fact, with many deep mathematical results being used in elegant way in the advancement of coding theory. So the basic problem of coding theory is that the communication over an unreliable channel that results in errors in the transmitted message. It is worthwhile noting that all communication channels have errors and thus codes are widely used. Okay, they are not just network communication, USB channels, satellite communication, and so on, but also used in the disks and other physical media, those are also prone to errors. So pen drives and hard disks, many disks. Okay, but the storage purpose. Okay, I'll explain you these things in a while. In addition to their practical application, coding theory have many applications in computer science and electrical electronic and electrical engineering. Okay, so these are the some of the things. So this is the basic problem. I'll explain through this. Okay, now you can concentrate now onwards. So first I told something history, but this is the thing. You have a message X of length K, right? So you will there is a function called encoding function, which converts this message length X, message length K to code word of length n. So message length X converted to n. Why you are extending the message length? We are adding some extra bits, redundancy bits, extra information. So why we are adding? If something bad happens, because we are sending via channel, so channel is noisy, some noisy added. So your message will be corrupted. Some errors will come. Even so, even it is corrupted, we can get the original information. For that, we'll add extra bits. That's we are converting message to a code word. Okay. If something bad happens, we'll get a corrupted code word. Okay. Say tilde. Okay. So that may be some entries may be deleted or changed or some are not visible, whatever it may be. Okay. What is the goal? Now the goal is this. Given C tilde that is already a little bit corrupted or it is not corrupted, whatever it is. So find something about X. Complete X or something about X. Is it okay? Is it clear? Essence of coding theory is clear? Yeah, thanks. Okay, that is the main thing, right? Okay, so let us see now more details. So still where it is used, okay. So now you have that, okay, where you use it, how it is used. That will give more clarity. For example, in the communication, generally communications will use Alice and Bob, right? Maybe A alphabets A and B. So Alice has some message, okay? She want to communicate to Bob. Generally, Alice is a girl and Bob is a boy. So Bob wears specs. So Alice has a message, okay? So that is of length K. Here I took a binary because the message is made up of zeros and ones. That is then it is called binary. So later we'll see that that is called alphabet. So in our English, our language, we have alphabet. Words are formed with those alphabets, right? Similarly, in the communications, we'll use 0, 1 or ternary. This is binary. Ternary means 0, 1, 2. So more frequently we'll use finite fields. We'll come to later. Our alphabet is the finite field. Their algebra going to play a role. Okay. So we have a length K and so Alice want to send it to Bob. What Alice will do, she will take the help of encoding function and convert this message into a code of length n, right? And send via channel. So Bob will receive C tilde, right? And now Bob has to get what Alice want to say to me. Okay. Alice send C to Bob over an IC channel. Bob hears C tilde. So this happens, right? In phone calls also, right? When I'm talking to you now, you are listening my voice, right? But actually, how it is going from me to you, okay? It is converted into some codes, and even in the communication, there is an IC, but still you are able to listen. Correct? Yeah. Is it clear? This example is clear. So, Rujata, Rutuja, is it okay? Okay, thanks. Good. This is one application. Thanks. Other application is this. So you know that hard disks. Okay, now people are not using in hard disk; they are using in pen drives and other disks, right? So you have some message, right? You have some data that you want to store. What is the why? What is that happening? Sometimes it may fall down. Some scratches will come. Here there is a diagram that dog is took that one, right? So some scratches may happen or you store it in a some storage CD or okay, then some bad thing may happen. So still I want to know X. So in the storage also, while you are storing is also, we are not storing as it is. We are adding some extra bits so that even something happened, I will get it. Okay. So this is example for storage where our coding theory where we can use. These are the two examples. There are many examples, but at least two examples which I told you right now. Okay, good. Okay, now actually to understand much better way, then let us go with some example, right? Okay, so consider, so is it, can somebody speak? Is the letters are okay? Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes. Good. Thanks. Okay, consider the secure coding, encoding of 4 fruits, apple, banana, cherry, and grape. So we want to send this information to somebody. So apple I convert into 00, banana 01, cherry 10, grape 11. So because I chose binary, but I took a length 2. Okay. Now this apple is a message, but I convert into code. But of course, here you see that different alphabets. Apple is one alphabet, right? But anyhow, I will tell you later, this is not actually encoding. It is only converting message into, again, 00, 01, 10, 11, still message only. Still it is not encoding. I'll get back to you that. Okay. Suppose message apple, which is encoded as 00, is transmitted over a noisy channel. The message become distorted and may become received as 01. Then what happens, right? So you send apple, some noisy happened, some one symbol is changed, it becomes 01. So you are received banana. So it is a problem, right? Or you see that problem happened, right? Now what happened? This entire thing we can say as message source converted into source encoder, and the channel and the source decoder and receiver. So now what we will do, we'll do some modification to this. By introducing the channel encoding, now we are encoding the message now. 00 we are now converting. We can improve the system. How? This is the first picture. So message source encoder as usual. But now I am introducing something called channel encoder. This is what encoder function. And now I am sending to the channel. Now channel decoder decodes it and it converts into source decoder and then the receiver. I'll explain with one example. Now, you know that 00 means apple and all that, right? But instead of 00, now I'm sending 000, 00, 011 and 101 and 110, right? So is it clear? Well, I'm not sending 00. Now I'm sending 000 like this. Now what happens if one mistake happens, Mahima? Can you tell me that, for example, now one bit is changed, what happens? Yeah, Sonali. Any one of you now. If one bit is corrupted, one bit is changed, what happens? Yeah. I'm sending 000, 011, 101, and 110. Right? What happens if there is a one bit is corrupted? Yeah. Any one of you?
Sir, it wouldn't match with the other ones, so we will not get confused.
So the thing is that now you are able to see that, for example, I send 000. It becomes 001. Then it is not still, what is that receiver observe now from this? He will observe that there is some error happened, but he is able to find out which one. Huh?
He will not be able to find.
He is not able to find. Only thing he is able to find is he detected the error. There is an error, that is detection is possible, but we cannot correct it now because 001 can come from 000 or 011 or right. So there is a high possibility it can come from anywhere, right? So because of that, some other words. So it is so okay. Now I explain that one. So can before that, can you figure out that what is the technique I use to extend it 00 to 000 011 101 10 110? I'll tell you this later, but are you able to predict something? See, with 3 digits, binary strings of length 3, there are 8 are there. But why, how I choose only these 4? Is there any mechanism by choosing these 4 instead of other 4? Can you see something? Yeah, that's what I want to ask you. Any one of you can predict something. What is a function? I'm just
Are we
asking.
adding the
Ah.
bits that we have already?
See, so if the function is that f is a function. So what is that I want to say that here? So think of like this, okay? So you have a function f is a function from f2. F2 means field with 2 elements, right? Binary. So f2 to 2 to where I'm sending f2 to 3. See, you know that r cross r, like that f2 cross f2. But instead of writing as ordered pairs, we are writing as a full sequence. Yeah, you are correct. Now, how we are sending x comma y mapped to x comma y comma x plus y. Very good. Is correct prediction. Yeah, good. So is it clear? I hope it is clear to every one of you. Easy to see that. But can you say some more? While adding this, what happened by adding this way? Anything you can you recognize something? By doing this function, what happened to the words? Whatever you observed, you can tell it. Now you have 000, 011, 101, and 110. Can you see something in this? Okay, I will ask then. How many ones are there in all these strings? How many ones? Either 0 ones or 2 ones.
They are all
They're all even, correct? They are even, right? All of them are even. So what
no,
left
sir.
now? Right.
But 011 is 3, right?
No, I'm not converting into numbers. I'm telling that how many ones are there.
Okay.
How many ones? Okay, 000 contains 0 ones. 011 contains 2 ones. 101 contains 2 ones. 110 contains 2 ones. Right. So you know that in the binary, so number of ones will be either even or odd. So these are all even. Another thing. Okay. So this have a nice thing that so here one correction happened, then the number of ones becomes odd. So that's why you are able to detect. But you cannot correct. It is only detect. So in this case, what we can do if this is our system, then we will ask that again send one more time. Since we cannot correct it, right? We know some error is happened. We'll tell to our friend that again send one more time, with the hope that it will not correct this. It will not get error this time. Yeah. Okay. So that is what I written here. Okay. So good. So that is what we called. You already predicted. That is called parity check. So one approach is parity check. Consider we have a following code x1, x2, xn. So we define c of x equal to x1 plus x2 plus xn. Right. This code now I am extending. Okay, now it becomes length n plus 1 now. Okay, this is called parity check. One extra bit I'm adding that has some information. Okay, so that is what you noticed, already you noticed. So you already told all those things. Are you able to detect one error if it happens? Yes, right? Can you comment on the number of ones in each code word that also you observed in this particular example? Okay, So till now, any problems? Everything is okay? Any questions? Okay, no questions. Thanks. Okay, the another approach, actually, this is the one, repetition code, repetition of the code. For example, you have x1, x2, xn. This is a message. Let R be the number of errors that can we wish to correct. So what is that we are telling? So we are assuming that in the channel, at most R errors can occur. Our goal is not only detecting, also correcting also, right? So then how do you do it? One mechanism is this repetition code. Okay, what is that we are doing? We are sending this several times. How many times we are sending? 2R plus 1 times. What is this R here? R is that we are already predicting that R errors can occur at most. Okay, we are already predicting, then only this. Okay, we are, if it is more than R plus more than R errors occur, we cannot again do anything. Okay, with our experience till now, whatever happened, we are assuming that at most R errors can occur. In that case, how do you solve the problem? How do you correct it? So you send the same message 2R plus 1 times. So then how can you predict, can you comment on this? I'll explain with one example, then you have to comment on this. Okay, what is that I want to say? For example, I assumed that one error will happen, R equal to 1. Then 2R plus 1 becomes 3. So now I want to send 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, right? But what I'm doing, instead of sending 0, 0, I'm sending 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 3 times. It is called repeating. I'm repeating the same thing 3 times. So similarly 0, 1. So that double slash generally for concatenation. We are concatenating at the end, right? Okay, till now I hope it is clear. So now how can you detect it when one error has happened? Now the message went is 0, 0, 0, 6 zeros went, right? And you and your friend know this is the way we are communicating. Yeah, how you were, for example, I send this 0, 0, 0, 0, 6 zeros to Mehak, right? Mehak noticed that instead of 1 0 becomes 1. Then how do Mehak will know? Yeah, can you comment? No comment? Is it tough? See, I send 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So one of the digit means at one place means it went 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. It is not 0 converted to 1. It is not like that. Okay. So by mistake, by the error happened at one digit means 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0 went. Then how do you know? This comment actually some. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Well, then what is the problem? Yeah, please tell me. See, what is happening is that 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. So actually, I want to send 0, 0 that me and my friend knows. And also my friend know that I am sending the same 3 times. Then I send 0, 0. I send 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 only. But my friend received 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. Then how he detect and correct? First, is it possible to detect? Yes, right? There is an error because it has to repeat the same thing, right? 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 has to go because last two you see. But now one of them is 0, 1. That means there is a mistake. So all three are not same. Now, is it possible to correct it now? Yes, because majority are 0, 0. The middle one is 0, 1. So it is looking little odd in compared to other two. So it is at majority. Is it okay now? Not clear? It's clear.
How are we forming that sequence?
We are farming continuously. Okay. For example, 01 I want to send, I am sending 01010. I want to send 10, then I'll send 101010 three
Oh,
times.
no, that is clear. But then in the next step, how are we getting that by that step?
No, I am sending this 101010 and it is going and via channel and it is received. If one digit is digit is changed, then it is possible to detect and correct. Is it okay or not okay? Okay, anyhow, we'll come back maybe. But what is the problem in this repetition code? Can somebody say something? In fact, you can see here that repetition code will help you solve the problem. Okay, but the thing is that I want to send a lot of message, then I have to send 3 times. For one error, I have to send 3 times. For two errors to correct, I have to send 5 times. So very complicated. So as such, repetition code will help you to solve the problem, but this is not the solution, right? Is it okay? At least one of you know comment. Is it okay, Kanak?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So, but is there any way? So look at here. For instance, instead of this repetition code, what we are doing is that we are sending 00, some mechanism we followed. We'll have to come up. How do you get this? Instead of 6, now I am sending only 5. You see that? So now I have a map from f2 power f2 square to f2 power 5. 00 mapped like this. Now can you check now what happens? So one digit is now converted. So for example, 000 I sent, right? Only one digit, there is an error in only one digit. Now what happens, right? So that can be 000 sent. Now it can be 1000 or 0100 like this, right? These 4. Suppose that 1000 is received. We already know that now we know that these are the messages. Okay, these are the messages. We know a priori both the sides. We know that. So we are sending a length 5. Okay, so this is received. Then we can assure that 100 comes from 000. Why? You have some questions you can ask. Because both the sides we know that these are the messages, code words. This is a code word, this is a code word, this is a code word, length 5. Okay, so both parties know that these are the code words. So if 100 is received, then how many, so there is an error happened, but so assume that this is only one error is happened. With that in that scenario only we can tell. Okay, if the channel is only one error only happened, then which with that assumption you can tell. Otherwise you cannot tell. Many errors are happened, then you cannot tell. We are of the view that okay, only one error happened, then are you able to now, can you predict? Not clear?
So 1000 is approximately look like 000 compared to other 3.
Other 3, because in order to 000 and converted into other thing, at least this, for example, 100, you can become other two only by changing two more modifications, right? Each of the other three encoded messages are these things, right? So we can show that 100 comes from 0000 because there are at least two errors between this and each of other three encoded messages. So see, when you are typing in the Google Gmail, right? Instead of typing AND, you type ADN, then it will give some error, right? You will get some line below. That is also part of this coding theory. Now it will also suggest which one I take. You have something in your mind, and which one I had. This we will tell in mathematics way later. Yeah. So now here you see that this with 5 digits, I'm able to correct also. Not only detect, I can correct also. Okay, that is what. But two errors are happened, then it's difficult. If two errors are happened, I do not know. I can detect it, there is an error, but I cannot correct it. Okay, so we'll see more things. So this is what happened till now. So we have Apple 00 first, then we convert into this is channel decoding. We will send via channel. Now we received 100. Now we able to then it is 00 and Apple back. So the goal of channel coding is to construct encoders and decoders in such a way that fast encoding of messages, easy transmission of encoded messages, and fast decoding of received messages, maximum transfer of information per unit per time, and maximum detection and correction capacities. Of course, there is a trade-off. We cannot achieve all of them together. So for example, 4 and 5 primary goals of fast encoding of received messages, decoding. Okay. So for example, 5 in general, not compatible with 4. So we'll see that in future. Therefore, any solution is necessarily a trade-off among these 5 objectives. So till now, still not clear to you, then I will explain with one more example, maybe that to help you. Okay. So still now you are not understand anything, then this example may help you further. Okay, final attack. Suppose 1 means yes, 0 means no. You want to communicate yes or no via channel, right? Suppose instead of 0 or 1, you are sending 00, 11 respectively to your friend. Okay. For example, if a friend is received 10 or 01, then what happens? Then it is clear that there is an error, but your friend cannot correct it. It comes from 00, it comes from 11, no idea. Is it okay? But instead, if I send 000, 111 respectively, okay, that is actually what is happened here. Can somebody comment what is that happening in the third case? With the previous one, whatever we done till now.
In the third bullet point, right?
Fourth. In the fourth, what is actually we are doing? 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1 means what?
R is equal to 1 in this case.
Okay, repetition code. Kaustubh, thanks. It is a repetition code. So R equal to 1. So 0, 0 I am repeated 3 times, 1 I repeated 3 times. Okay. Yeah. So, okay, it is considered as repetition code. Now in the repetition code, what happens? I can correct also one error. Not only detect, I can correct now. Now I can correct 2 errors. I can detect, sorry. I can detect 2 errors. I can correct 1 error also. Correction is important, right? Okay. So now 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1. Okay. Instead of 1 and 0, I'm now sending 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, right? See, you send 1 as it is, 0 as it is, 1 becomes 0. Now it's complete bad. Your friend think that he said no, right? So instead I changed it to 0011. Now only one error happened, then still it is okay. I can detect there is an error. Okay, it is not clear. But instead now you send 000111 for yes or no. Now it is an advantage, right? Now what happens if only one error happened, then it is easy to detect, also to correct. Why? Yeah, now you can tell me. This example is okay.
There will be, so because there are only 0 and 1 and we are taking 3 symbols, 2 of them must be same. So whatever is the different bit, that must be the error.
Yeah, right.
That will be correct.
Yeah, so and also this is what we called nearest neighbor. Okay, I'll explain with one here. So I constructed this in the graph, okay, as a graph. So if you know the graph theory, then it is a graph. So I put all these binary things into strings into vertices, and there is an edge between them. There is a Hadamard, there is some distance, right? Hamming distance. These are called Hamming graphs and Hamming distance. What is Hamming distance? So how many digits are changed? Okay. So 0002 010, there is only one digit is changed. So if there is a change of only one digit, I'll put an edge. Otherwise, I will not put. So there is no edge between 0002 111. Why? So because now there is a 3 bits are changed. There is also no edge between 00 vertex 0002 011. Why? So there is a 2 bits are changed. So I hope it is clear how this graph is constructed. Yeah, thanks. Right now, so now what are the nearest neighbors to 000? Can somebody help me? What are the neighbors of 000?
0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1.
Yeah, these are the neighbors. These are the nearest ones, right? So they are of distance 1. And in the graph theory, distance is there. Distance 1, distance 2, and distance 3. So that is the diameter of this graph. Okay. So, okay, this is what we called nearest neighbor decoding. We are decoding means we are, there is an error happened, 001 came, then I will take it as 000. That is nearest code word. These are the only 2 code words, 000 111. But I received 100. Then what I will do? I will correct it to, so I will check that this 100 is nearest to 000 or 111. The distance from 10 to 000 is 1, whereas distance from 100 to 111 is 2. So that's why I will convert it to nearest. That is called nearest neighbor. So is it okay? This diagram is clear? Yeah, thanks. Okay, good. So this is called nearest neighbor decoding. So that is what I explained here. So you take all the code words, but we will choose certain code words, right? In that particular case, I take 000111. So now these are the code words, this center one. These are not code words, okay? So these are the code words. Now if error happened, then there is a ball around it. With that distance it is there, then I will take it to this nearest neighbor. Okay, it falls here, then it is I will correct it to this, like that. Okay. And so this one also I take it from this one, but the second one, this particular thing I taken from IITT NPTEL lecture notes. In between I clicked this picture. Okay. So actually in this course, we'll study codes first, but basically we confine to linear block codes that contain cyclic code, that contains BCH code, that contains Reed-Solomon codes. Okay, but in the newer course, Reed-Solomon codes is not there, but I will give that also because that has more applications. Okay. So this is what about introduction, little bit introduction about the coding theory, but I will start tomorrow onwards about coding theory. Yeah. So are there any questions still now before going further? Okay. Now I'm going to this cryptography course. So other part is cryptography, right? So some of you, maybe two of you are already attended once. So I'm just repeating the same thing. So cryptography is the science of keeping secret. Okay. So assume a sender referred here is an alias again. Okay. Alias wants to send a message to a receiver called Bob. So she uses insecure communication channel. For example, the channel could be a computer network or telephone line, whatever. But what is the difference between coding theory and cryptography? Here also there is a channel, but this channel now it is insecure channel. There it is an IC channel, and now it is insecure channel. Security now. Okay. So there is a third person involved, Eve. Okay. So when Alice sends some message to Bob, Eve want to get it that, right? So there is a problem if the message is contains some confidential information, right? The message could be interpreted and read by eavesdropper. Eve means eavesdropper, or even worse, that adversary, as usual referred to as Eve, might able to modify the message during the transmission in such a way that the legitimate recipient Bob does not detect the manipulation, right? You see in the movies or even serials, right? So third person will be there and he will communicate wrong information, right? Yeah, so like that. So this is what. One of the objectives of cryptography is to provide method to prevent such attacks, right? The fundamental and classical task of cryptography is to provide confidentiality. This is what I told, confidential, right? By encryption methods. The message to be transmitted. So it can be some text, numerical data, or executable program, or any other kind of information is called a plain text. Okay. So how it happens? So Alice encrypts the plain text M and obtains a ciphertext C. There also you see that we are encoding like that here also. Okay, encoding function will be there. So the message is converted into a ciphertext. So ciphertext C is transmitted to Bob. Bob turns the ciphertext back to the plain text by decryption. Okay, there it is called encoder decoder. It is called encryption decryption. The reason is here this is a function not just from plain text to the ciphertext. There is another set we use. This is K. This K is called key space. Okay, so I will take some key from K, set K, and a plain text. Then I will do something, that function do something, and it will give a ciphertext. So it is a function. So K1 comma M. K1 is an element in capital K and M is a message. So it encodes and it gives the ciphertext. Decoding is a reverse. Now again some key again, K2, and now that is ciphertext. So I will decrypt. So now it will get the plain text now back. Is this clear? So I'm clearing now. So if it is any problem, please let me know. Is it okay? This part is clear? Yeah, thanks. Okay, so what is that? To decrypt, Bob needs some secret information. So secret decryption key. So adversary Eve still may interpret the ciphertext. However, encryption should be guarantee secrecy and prevent her from deriving any information about the plain text from observed ciphertext. Eve can get the ciphertext. Okay, while it is going, she can get the ciphertext, but she cannot interpret what actually Alice want to send to Bob. She does not have that idea. So encryption is old. For example, first one is Caesar cipher, that is called Caesar shift cipher, was introduced very old. Okay, so there is a king called Caesar. He want to send information, so he applied this algorithm. Okay, so that is called Caesar cipher. Okay, so as I told, there is an encryption algorithm and decryption algorithm are functions, right? So what is that happens in this particular case, right? Both the sides we have the same key. Okay, so for example, in this particular case, what happens? Depend on the same secret key. Okay, this key is used for both encryption as well as decryption. These encryption methods are called symmetric. What is happening is that, so decryption, this is encryption. So key and message. So I'll get a ciphertext. This is C now, right? But I'm using the same key K. Then I'm getting the M, right? So to explain some examples, so let us see this. This is called shift cipher, right? So shift cipher means what I'm taking now. So my alphabet, here also we have alphabet. My alphabet is Z26. First, that means I'm converting my ABCD to numbers, right? So, and there is a, these three X, Y, K are taken from Z26. Both the sides I'm using the same key K. So what is the encryption? I will add K to X. I told you that X is taken from Z26. So 0 means A, like that, okay? 0 means A, B means 1, Z means 25. So Z26, 0 to 25. Instead of A to Z, I am taking 0 to 25, right? So now key is fixed. In entire this cipher, key is fixed. Okay, whatever X you take, then I'm adding K to X and I'm sending. Okay, and while decrypting, I'll subtract. Okay, very simple encryption decryption mechanism, right? So how do you do? For example, okay, is there any questions here in this? No questions, right? Easy, right? So Caesar cipher, exactly, he added 3. So Caesar cipher mein what is happening? C plus 3 added, right? Now, so you can understand that from here you can understand why D becomes A. Sorry, A becomes D, right? You can understand, right? Why A becomes D. We are adding 3 to it. 0 plus 3, it is D. D becomes 3, right? So like that, B becomes E, like that, okay? Z becomes C, X becomes A, and that way. Okay, when you add 3 and then, so somebody can help me that what is a Caesar cipher for cat, CAT cat? What is the ciphertext for cat? CAT cat by Caesar
FDW.
FDW. C means F, CAT, A means D, okay, FDW. T means yeah, T means W. So is it clear? Now how do you get to get back? If I send now the Bob receives FDW, then he will again subtract. Okay, yeah, I hope this is clear. So in general, we'll extend it. It's called shift cipher. Okay, there are many other ciphers. So this is one example. This is symmetric key crypto system. Symmetric key means both the sides. Okay, but in 1976, Diffie and Hellman published their famous paper. So the new directions in cryptography, there they introduced a revolutionary concept called public cryptography. They provided a solution to the long-standing problem of key exchange. So what is the problem in the symmetric crypto system? What is the problem of key exchange? Somebody can comment whatever you know, whatever you predict. See, once both the parties first need to know key, right? But how do you communicate that one? So you both meet in some park or some place and exchange the key, then you will communicate later, right? But that may be difficult. So that this is the one of the problem, how to first exchange your key. So key exchange protocols. So that is the main part that Diffie and Hellman solved that problem. And the process, there is another concept called public cryptography also there. It gives two problems. It solves two things, and it solves many later. Digital signatures and those things also now as a product of these things. People are very now smart. They are using these techniques to create digital signatures, many other things that we will see in the course, right? So first understand what is this public cryptography. Okay, what is this key exchange protocols and all. Okay, so let us understand what this. Diffie and Hellman paper is introduced these techniques. So each person has the key now becomes key has two parts, public key and secret key. As name suggests, public key is public, made public, everyone can get it. There is no secrecy. Whereas secret key is secret, it is with the particular person. Okay. Now, so that means each person has one public key and one secret key. Right? See, in the earlier symmetric key, there is another problem. What is the problem? For example, me and Amaya communicating in the secret key, right? We exchanged one key, K, right? Then me and Amaya are interchanging and working nicely. So we met somewhere and we took the secret key and we are communicating, right? I'm sending, he is decrypting, and he is sending, I'm decrypting. So things are going well. But what is can you tell me one problem here? Anyone? In the one problem is that exchanging of the key, that is okay. But can you tell few more problems? Any other problems?
Just try for all values of k because there are finitely many.
That is okay. That is one thing. Any other? Yeah, good. That is one thing. And second thing, very good. That is one point. Any other point? So actually, in this particular shift cipher and all, it may be easy, but even the symmetric key, I can create keys in such a way that it may be difficult. But yeah, okay. But that is one thing. That is a good point that we'll discuss in the course. Can somebody tell me any other thing, problem in the here? Okay. For example, me and Kanak are shared one key. But now I want to work with Amia also. Then what I will do? Can I use the same key? Say something.
If we don't want Amaya to read our messages.
Yeah, right. So because of that, we cannot use the same key with Amaya, right? So in the symmetric crypto system, with every person, I have to use different keys. That is a very difficult problem. This is another thing, limitation in the symmetric key. Doesn't mean that I am saying that now we are not using symmetric key. Day to day, our everything is going via symmetric key only. But there are some techniques that they are using because public crypto system came, but we are not using that still. Okay, but what is the applications, and we'll see that. Okay, but first let us discuss what are these schemes first. Now what is happening here in this particular case? Now the public key can be shared with anyone, right? Now only one key I'm sharing with everyone because secret key is with me. So that I'm not sharing with anyone. Is it not beautiful? Yeah. Okay, that is one advantage, right? Okay, consisting of two parts, PK public key and made public, and SK decryption key kept secret. Now, how this works? If Alice want to send a message M to Bob, okay, she encrypts M by use of Bob's publicly known encryption key, that is BPK. BPK means Bob public key. Bob decrypts the ciphertext by use of this decryption key, BBK, which is known to only to him. So we have that now what is happening, let us understand this, what is encryption, what is decryption. I hope you understand the entire picture here, right? So first encryption. Who is doing encryption? Somebody can comment. In Alice and Bob, who is doing encryption?
The sender.
Sender is Alice. Alice is doing the encryption. So she is using the function E. How she is doing? Alice is taking Bob public key, it is publicly available, and message her message M. So she converted into a ciphertext by using Bob public key and this one, right? So it is like you have the message M, right? You have the message M. So now what is that you are doing? We are putting some lock to it, right? I don't know how to put lock. Yeah. So you are putting some lock to it. This is Bob public key. Now it is locked. Okay. Only Bob only can open it because Bob has secret key and Bob only has key. He can open it. Okay. No one can open this. Okay. So anyhow, Alice has the message M, right? So she no need to open it. Okay. Already Alice has message. So Alice know the message. She sending. She locked it. She send via channel. Now the ciphertext can be known to anyone, but they cannot get message, actual message. Okay. Now when it goes to Bob, then Bob decrypt by using decryption, by using secret key. So is it this part is clear? How public key works? Okay, good, thanks. Okay, so how to create these things, that is a goal. Mathematically speaking, public key crypto system is so-called one-way function. We are using one-way function with a trapdoor. Everyone easily encrypt the plain text using the public key PK, but other direction is difficult. Okay, so there are many functions, right? You are easy to find the images, but once image is given, you don't know what is a pre-image. So those are called one-way functions. Okay, so one-way functions are very useful, but which one-way functions are useful in this public key crypto system? Those one-way functions, but if I able to give some information about the function, secret information, then it is easy to get the pre-image. Those are called one-way functions, and yeah. So it is practically impossible to deduce the plain text from the ciphertext without knowing the secret key, which is called trapdoor information. Yeah. So when we go with more examples, we will understand this. Any questions to want to ask? Okay. So public key encryption methods require more complex computations and are less efficient than classical symmetric methods, right? So the symmetric key methods are used for encryption of large amounts of data. Are you okay? That is important. Still, we are using symmetric key only. Before applying symmetric key, Alice and Bob have to agree on a key to keep the key secret. They need a secret communication channel. It is common practice to use public key crypto system for this purpose. So this public key crypto system used to exchange the public key. Key exchange is possible with this. Okay, later we will use the information. Symmetric key only we will use. Okay, I will explain you with one public key one key, sorry, what is that I want to say? That key exchange protocol. Okay. So what is a protocol? In cryptography, protocol means protocol is set of rules. Okay. It is not just one time. Alice and Bob, so they will communicate sometime, then key will be generated. It is not at one shot. Those are called going and coming back, like that, going and coming, some information exchanges, then that is called a protocol. Okay, right. Any questions? Okay, I'll explain with one example. So as Shubhamay asked, right? So one of the applications of cryptography also can be constructed by using the public crypto system, can be constructed by using coding theory also. Coding theory crypto systems are linked. So one application where I can use the coding theory, I can use in crypto system also, cyber security and other. Yeah, so we'll see more applications. At that time, will be much more clear. One of the key exchange algorithm is as follows. Let P be a prime number and G be the generator of the cyclic group, ZP minus 0. Right? You know that ZP minus 0, if I remove, it is a group with respect to what?
Multiplication.
Multiplication. ZP is a group with respect to addition. That is also cyclic group. ZP minus 0 also cyclic group. Okay, but it is with respect to multiplication. Okay, good. See how group theory we are using. So Alice want to send a Bob. Now they are exchanging the key. How they are exchanging? So now Alice choose some A. A belongs to 2 to P minus 2. Okay, is it clear? We are working in multiplicative group, ZP minus 0. Okay, Sonali, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Good, thanks. Okay, because this is very simple. Okay, what is mean by R here? A belongs to R. Can somebody say? Can you predict? I wrote A belongs to, instead of A belongs to, I wrote R also. Why? Okay, that is random. I chose A randomly. Okay, from 2 to P minus 2. LS chose. Then what she is doing? What are the public parameters here? Everyone, G and P are publicly announced. Okay. So who will telling that? Bob is telling. Bob is telling to everyone that G and P, or otherwise these two people now assume that key exchange is between Alice and Bob. So they choose some G and P. That is they announced, right? Publicly. Okay. What is that Alice is doing? Not only she chose the A. What is she computing? She is computing G power A. What is G? This is a generator. G power A and mod P. Then what is that now A? Can somebody tell me what is capital A now? It is one of the element in ZP minus 0. Nothing, right? Okay. Now Li sent A to Bob. What is Bob received now? Bob received capital A. Correct? Okay. That is with Bob. Now Bob has B. Now Bob also choose some B randomly from 2 to P minus 2. Bob also do the same technique. Now she defines A, B. Here also A, B, Alice and Bob linked. So G power B. Now what Bob will send B to A. Now A reach it to Bob, B reach it to Bob. Is it okay till now? Shubhamoy?
No, sir. Sir, can you tell me what is this A equals to P to the power A mod P? And
No. I'm doing G. G is the generator, right?
so,
Then I'm doing power A. Power A means I'm multiplying G A times.
yes, sir.
then I'm doing modulo P, correct? So for example, to explain you, I'll take a small prime. I'll take Z5. Can you tell me one generator for Z5 minus 0? You know that prime numbers we have primitive root, right? Number theory will get primitive root. Is it 2 is a primitive root?
No, sir.
No, 2 and 3 are not primitive root because they are quadratic residues, right? Sorry, don't worry, that much is not. Sorry, these 2 and 3 are primitive roots, but 1 and 4 are quadratic residues. These are not. But 2 is a primitive root. 2 is a primitive root because why 2 is a generator? Why 2 is a generator? 2 power 0 is 1. 2 power 1 is 2. 2 square is how much? 4. 2 cube is how much? 8. So modulo 5, it is 3. Okay. So 2 is a generator. So my here P is 5 and G is 2. I'll get everything, right? All the 1, 2, 3, 4 I got, right? So it is generator. 2 is a generator. Now A I choose from 2, 3, 4. I am doing power and I am doing modulo P. For example, can you choose some, Shubhamay, can you choose A from 2, 3, 4 say? You choose one randomly. Anything you want.
Like 3.
3. If you choose 3, then it what I will do 2 power 3. Okay. So I 2 power 3 modulo P also. Mod P. Mod 5. So then it is equal to 3. So now Li send 3 to Bob. Okay. Now 3 is reached here. Okay. Now Bob, what Bob he will do? He will also choose B. 2 from 2, 3, 4. So for example, Bob choose 4. Then he computes 2 power 4. 2 power 4 modulo 5.
That is 1.
That is 1. 2 power 4. Yeah, modulo 1, it is 1, right? That will send to LS. Yeah, 2 power 4. 2 power 4 modulo 5. Yeah, correct. It is 1. It is 1, right? Okay, whatever comes, it's okay. So P minus 2 tak hi ja rahe hain. So what is P minus 2 then? Right? So it is 3. So that's the reason we are not going up to that. Only 2, 3 only. Sorry for small prime, that's a problem. So we cannot take that 4. Yeah, sorry. So she takes maybe 2 square, then it is 4, and 4 will send. See, B also can be equal to small a, randomly chosen, we don't know, right? Whatever. So here 4 is reached. Okay, now what is the key now? Now again, we are doing 4 power a, okay, and here 3 power b, this b, okay. So now what is happening? Now this key becomes g power ba, here g power ab. Is it okay, clear? Both have the same key now. So key exchanged. Now, but in between, no one knows. Why no one knows? What is the middle people can know? They know. So eavesdropper is intelligent. So eavesdropper know GP as well as A also. Eavesdropper even know GPB also, right? But from B, from A, it is difficult to get small a. Okay, what is that? What is this capital A? Capital A is equal to G power A, right? So now my small a equal to what? It is log a base G, right? Like log a base G. Are you following? General setup. Okay. This is called discrete logarithm here. It is called discrete logarithm. Finding small a from capital A and GP. You give all those things. You give the group, that means P. You give the group, you give the G, generator also you give. But you from G power A, after computing G power A, that means, but from G power A, difficult to compute A. You given completely G power A after doing G power A mod P we done, and that number is given to you. From that, it is difficult to get A. That is called discrete logarithm. Of course, it is not for small prime, very big prime. This is called discrete logarithm problem. Is it okay? Suresh? Suresh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so what is discrete logarithm problem? When you have G power A, finding A is difficult. That is called discrete logarithm problem. I want to tell you that most of the thing are depend upon two hard problems in number theory or group theory or whatever you can call. Okay. So there are these two problems. Okay. One is this one. This is called discrete logarithm problem. Discrete DLP. DLP means, first of all, it is just a problem, discrete logarithm problem. So this is hard problem. That problem we are using. See, hard problems are now useful in cryptography. That is a beauty. So those which are very difficult to solve now are advantage. So you know that Hardy, right? Most of you know Hardy. So many people asked Hardy that Hardy told that there is no use of number theory. It is a just a pleasure. But now cryptography using the number theory very well. Okay, because so many hard problems are there that we are using. Okay. Another problem is that factoring a given number, factoring problem, factorization problem. Okay. So given a natural number n, so we know that by fundamental theorem of arithmetic, every natural number can be written as product of distinct primes. But there is no polynomial time algorithm to factor the given number. So that is used in another public crypto system called RSA crypto system. So we will discuss in the course. Okay. So DLP, public crypto, DLP, and these are factoring problem and DLP are problems. They are hard problems. These hard problems they used. Okay. In constructing key exchange problem and public crypto system, digital signatures and all this. Okay. Now more and more hard problems people are using. So how to use the hard problem, right? That is not easy actually. It is because you need to convert it into very useful way. That means we need to convert it to a trapdoor information. Okay, how make it secret and all that. It is not that easy. So there are many hard problems. All hard problems may not be converted into crypto systems. Okay, so how do you do? That is the thing. You take some hard problem and if you're able to create some new crypto system, you become world famous. Yeah. Okay. Right. Any questions till now? Achila ji?
No, sir.
No. Okay. Good. Right. Now coming back here. So I hope you understand this simple public key exchange protocol. Why we call it as a protocol? Because here a lot of exchanges are happened. First A went, Bob sent B here. Now Bob applied power A. LS applied power A. Bob applied power B. Right? Then only it become key. Sometimes more exchanges may happen. Okay. So there are like that many things are there. So some other areas in this area is that zero knowledge proofs. Now new area coming up. Zero knowledge proofs. See, so there are two parties, party 1 and party 2. So the party 2 says that I know something. So party 1 does not give the clue, but even then he want to know that actually really P2 knows, right? So these cases also, these protocols will be used. So we'll discuss in the future later, right? And authentication process. So many times we need to have authentication. You go to exam hall, then you have to show Aadhaar card or something, right? But now online, so there is an authentication process. There also we use these type of mechanisms. Okay, so we'll discuss those. Okay, it is similar to like this, not exactly what we're discussing, just a model I'm telling you. So we have a sender, receiver will do. Receiver locks with a briefcase with own padlock and removes the key and again send it to the sender. Now what the sender will do? He will remove his key, his lock. So this particular picture I taken from one book called A Very Short Introduction to Cryptography. Okay. Cryptography, so title of the book is very small book, very thin. Some 80 pages are like that. And Sheehan Murphy, two others. Okay, from that I took this picture. So the objectives of the cryptography are what is that you do in this course? Earlier cryptography used only for one purpose, confidentiality. So Caesar cipher at that time only idea is that information has to go, other person will not get. That is called confidentiality. But now it is completely changed, right? Now so many other things are coming into cryptography. Now this is also related to cyber security, many other things. Okay, what are those? Okay, so the major 4 objectives are, there are many other, but now at this juncture I'm telling 4. You understand confidentiality? Is it clear? Yeah, confidentiality is simply confidential. No middle one can get it. Okay, but what is data integrity? Okay, so the receiver of the message should be able to check whether the message was modified during the transmission, either accidentally or deliberately. No one should be able to substitute the false message for the original message or parts of it. Is it clear to you? Do you understand why this is different from confidentiality? Can you comment? Both looking like similar, but there is a difference.
So in confidentiality means that no middleman gets to know what's in the box.
Right, right. In that,
It also means that.
yeah, actually your voice breaking anyhow. So I understand a little bit. Anyone? Any other person? Yeah, thanks, Rubhamai. Any other person want to say something? Okay. See, middle person, eavesdropper, sometimes they can get the information, right? But they can unable to know what is that. But sometimes they will change it. So they may change the information, right? So that should not be happen. Okay. So no one should be able to substitute a false message for the original message or parts of it. So that is also part of data. That is also part of this cryptography, data integrity, right? I'm sending some mail to you. Okay, that is encrypted. But some middleman change it to something, then it is a problem, right? Are you okay? Are you clear? Rutuja, is it clear? Data integrity different from confidentiality. Yeah, okay. Good. So any questions? So if you understand the difference between confidential and data integrity, I'm fine. Yeah, okay. Authentication, next one. The receiver of the message should be able to verify its origin. No one should be able to send a message to Bob and pretend that Allah is original, right? So somebody says that tomorrow is a holiday. Do you believe? So when you believe, it comes from the director or your HOD or something, right? There should be some signature or something will be there, right? So this is something called authentication. So when initiating communication, Alice and Bob should be able to identify each other. So entity authentication. So authentication is again little look like data integrity, something related data integrity. Yeah, but one of them achieved, other will be achieved. Something will be there that you will see in your future. But try to see the differences among these. Okay. So another one is that non-repudiation. Non-repudiation means sender should not be able to later deny that she sent the message. Okay, they both are communicating. Both have the same key. Or whatever, right? Both are communicating, but sender say that later, okay, no, I do not say that, right? How do you encounter, how do you say that? That is called non-repudiation. So which one is a symmetric and can you do non-repudiation or not? Which one able to do this? Okay, so how do with methods we'll tackle these things. These are the things. So any questions, anything you want to ask me? How we will do? Okay, I not told till now, but these are four are different. The purposes are different. Is it okay, Kanak?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So any more questions you want to ask? Okay. So this is related to the course, right?